Rick and Morty is back, baby, and with it comes new adventures and, of course, new episode breakdowns. All the breakdowns forever times infinity Rick and Morty. Top 3 things Rick and Morty and their adventures. Rick and Morty forever in 100 years. Season 4, Episode 1, Edge of Tomorty. Rick, Die, Rick, Pete. Let's go.
100 years,
pushing it to the limit, Rick and Morty, pushing it to the limit.
Trying different things,
but then also pushing it anywhere not near the limit at all.
Number 3. Pickle Rick isn't over.
I'm Pickle Rick!
How could anyone forget Pickle Rick? Both the name for Rick's pickled self and the episode title of last season's 3rd episode. At the end of that episode, Rick turns himself into a pickle to avoid family therapy, only to show up defeated in the therapist's office. Wounded and covered in feces and rat blood, Rick still refuses to learn a lesson.
I'm not a cow. I'm a pickle. When I feel like it.
Now, during one of his death flashes, we learn that Rick's days as a pickle aren't over, as we see a few frames of Pickle Rick. This means that Rick is still very much open to the possibility of turning himself into a pickle again, a future that will lead to his death. Rick never learns, and that's probably his greatest flaw. Number 2. Fascist Morty's subtle jab at toxic fans.
Oh! Okay.
He was an inferior Rick. He was too political.
Fascist Morty kills his reality Rick, not because Rick was too weak or had anti-fascist ideals, but this Morty simply wants to drop the politics and go on classic Rick and Morty adventures. But as soon as Rick tries to play along, Morty freaks out and screeches. Ever since season 3, Rick and Morty fans have been divided, with some being very vocal about Rick and Morty dropping politics and getting back to classic adventures.
Stop doing meta commentary. Just have fun. We're going on a simple, fun, classic adventure.
This episode is a nice return to form, with the family back together and R&M on a classic existential adventure. However, based on Fascist Morty's demands, it's clear that he's also making a subtle jab at toxic fans who don't even really understand what they're asking for. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The darkest episode yet. There have been some really dark moments on Rick and Morty, from Rick's failed suicide to planets being destroyed and more. At the beginning of season 3, Rick promised the darkest season yet.
Take it easy, Rick. That's dark.
Oh, it gets darker, Morty. Welcome to the darkest year of our adventures.
But overall, it seemed pretty on par with the rest of the series. Season 4, episode 1, however, had the highest volume of dark moments we've seen in a single episode. They include all the potential deaths via death crystals, fascism being a very common outcome from many timelines, a new bully who's willing to kill other kids, Morty going on a non-self-defense murder rampage just to be with Jessica, a judge committing suicide, and wasp versions of the Smith family eating Mr. Goldenfold alive while he begs for a quick death, and Morty eating Mr. Goldenfold's babies.
Run, my baby! Bonus!
What Easter egg of subtle moment did you pick up on that we missed? Let us know in the comments.